Hominid, CM Punk went on Twitter not too long ago to whine about Wrestler's Court. The concept that you created, saying Wrestler's Court was the most insecure, small dick, energy, average white man embarrassment to the wrestling business shit of all time. Now, clearly, your version of Wrestler's Court was a bit of fun, and it morphed into something else that... Anyway, so take that tweet and...
Okay, I did this years ago. I invented it because I was a big Judge Judy watcher. So we'd be going down the road, and we'd be in a debate, not an argument, but a debate about something. And the debate could be anything from romancing the rats to, any drinking, anything. And I'd call Wrestler's Court. Wrestler's Court. I was always a judge. And I did this with Undertaker first. And I put him on trial for, I think, romancing the girls around the matches. Because he denied it. So, and then I was the prosecutor and the judge. Of course, you knew I never lost a match. I never lost a case. Mm-hmm. And then Undertaker loved it. So he would say, Wrestler's Court. Then he'd put me on trial. He'd convict me for whatever I did. But they remembered. And then I think the Godfather came along. We did it with him and some of the other people. And, Stone Cold, he learned it. So that's how it got its way to WWE, the Wrestler's Court. But then when it got up there, and Bradshaw, he did it too. But when it got up there, either Bradshaw was the judge or Undertaker was the judge, and they would really try guys on kind of serious stuff. I started it as a joke, but it ended up like a pretty serious shoot. And for CM Punk to really say anything about it, what do you call it? Small dick what?
The insecure small dick energy. So is this something...
So he saw me take a shower. That bastard. I knew he was watching me.
So what's his problem with it then? Is it just...
Because he didn't invent it, I guess. See, I was watching the other day some nondescript, that's a good word, huh? I mean, nothing that will make this tape stand out except CM Punk was in wrestling camp, wrestling school. And they were showing him how to do a front row. He couldn't even do that. And I'm thinking, how did this guy, well, I know how he did it because he has some personality, but his wrestling skills weren't up to par with, starting out with the other first-year students that he was competing against. So I don't know why he came out and knocked family court. Probably because they convicted him several times on being an asshole, I guess. And he didn't like it. And he tried to appeal, and he turned his appeal down. So, and I don't know why he would come out like that. It's just a joke. And that's the way it was supposed to be a joke. But I do think they maybe turned it a little bit more serious in WWE. And because when you have other guys that's not even being tried, they're pushing, advocating for somebody to be at Wrestler's Court. There's some heat there somewhere. Mm. And they would get to Undertaker or Bradshaw and convince them, we need to put that sumbitch on trial. Blah, blah, blah. Let's do it. And then it was a joke to everybody else, except the guy on trial, because then he saw, this wasn't going to be a joke. This is kind of a serious deal. And I have heard they've been several serious court dates that got just walked out on. People said, F this, I'm leaving, blah, blah, blah. And then when they'd leave, that was good. They got to see him blow up. And then, of course, here come the verdict, guilty as charged. So, and then all the other guys, they would go tell him, well, they found you guilty anyway. So anybody who would allow themselves to be put on trial in Wrestler's Court, they deserve to be convicted.
Do you remember, well, I was actually going to ask, do you remember hearing, because I don't think it probably got too serious while you were there in WWF in the mid-90s. It seems that it got more serious in the 2000s, but I remember still some silly ones like Teddy Long got convicted for selling Viagra to the boys when he got it for free on prescription. Yeah, there was other ones, but I think there was a serious one, or a few serious ones, like Mohammed Hassan, I think was the name. He was a short-lived, he was like a terrorist character.
Yeah, I know who he is.
And I think he got wrestlers caught, and it got pretty serious at one point, and he really got shunned by the locker room. Do you remember hearing any at the time that got a bit out of hand?
Well, I heard about those, but the Hassan guy, I think he had heat, and that's what got you to wrestler's court. If you didn't get along with that clique, they'd slam your ass in wrestler's court. See, a lot of people don't know that, but that's behind the scenes. But the implications of being on wrestler's court said a lot about your stature in the hierarchy. Because you didn't get none of the top guys going to wrestler's court. You didn't get Nash, and you didn't get Scott Hall, the kid, and all this. You didn't get those in wrestler's court, but you'd get the Hassans, and you'd get Teddy Long, and you'd get those. But Teddy Long, I can't believe that got serious, because I don't think he gives a crap. He'd laugh that off. But the Hassan kid, I think he had some heat with the dressing room. And when I was there, you could tell who had heat and who they let go. And if you acted too serious, if you weren't one of those top guys, if you acted too serious and you took your character a little bit more strongly than what your place called for, you could very well find your way at wrestler's court.